that could be avoided.
But
Because of that land, log or something float down there could
he's already found.
do some damage to a new one. It's a big log or something floating down there.
Oh, it's got capability to have water coming down through there.
Yeah.
But,
I had to pull out my old trig books last night. We got a den going up, had a pipe coming off, and couldn't figure out what kind of angle we had back there. So,
how long has it been?
well, it's been 25 years.
You're still safe.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I was right, actually.
Put another 10 on it, you got trouble.
Yeah.
That's for crimp. That's just so they can, their escrow money goes to the bank of their choice. It's just, if they don't do that, the parent.
Do what?
Okay.
There's my design of the jail. It's already done.
Hey, put them in there.
No problem.
Big return on this. Call our October 1st, Washington Commission meeting order at this time. Everybody would stand. We would ask David if he would lead us in the pledge of the flag, after which those who desire will have a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Welcome everybody to our meeting today. Entertain a motion to accept the minutes of our last meeting.
Next motion. Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approval of our minutes of our last meeting, raise your right hand. Unanimous. First on our agenda, we have Jill Segesser from River Hills.
Good morning.
Jill.
I have, this is regarding the Blue River Fire District project. The pay request number 2 has been signed off on by the contractor, Temple Construction, and also by the architect, John Hawkins. And I am presenting it to you. The dollar amount is $128,250, with an additional $6,750 to be placed into the retainage account. Of that, $49,950 will be paid for out of local funds, which is from the Blue River Fire District. So I've sent documentation to them, and they'll be submitting a check to the county. And then the remainder, which is $85,050, will be submitted in a draw request to the state. So I would ask for your approval to pay that pay request, and also for Commissioner Foltz to sign the draw request.
Second. All those in favor of the request, raise your right hand. Unanimous.
Thank you. It's right there at the very bottom.
The other side is the vendor. Can I sign as the vendor?
Well, I guess you can.
Unanimous.
Okay. That's all I have, unless you have any questions. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks.
Everything doing okay so far on the project?
Yeah, as far as I can tell, John, late yesterday, John Hawkins sent me a project update. So I can send that to you guys if you want, but they have monthly progress meetings. They had one last Thursday. So if any of you guys ever want to attend one of the progress meetings, just let me know. They'll have another one sooner this month, because I think John's going to be on vacation when they would normally have it. So once I find out when that is, I'll let you know. If you guys want to come, you're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Hot seat.
Oh, I don't know after my third or fourth cup of coffee.
Can't be no worse than this guy.
Well, I was asked to come to give you kind of an update of where we are. We have one of our ambulances is pretty much, well, it's done, the engine, and it's shot. We took it out, Darren Mollett, he's our mechanic, has been doing the maintenance and repairs and upkeep on it. They found in the oil pressure regulator, they found a roller bearing in it. I said more than likely it did come from the lifter. He said when it got that far going down, it's probably made its way through the pump. So he said there is no repair to it. There are some options to either replace the engine or look at rechassing the box itself or purchasing the ambulance. But shy of replacing the engine in it, it's a fairly old truck, 2008 model. About 4 years in emergency running's about a good life on them. The box is in really, really good shape and good condition. So there are some quotes for some vendors to remount it on there, and I've provided copies for you guys, along with also quotes of estimates to replace the engine, the cost of a complete engine, the cost of a long block, which long block meaning they would use the components of the older engine, reconnect those to the old or to the new long block.
You said this is a 2008?
Yes.
Is it, do you know, is it the oldest or they all the same?
Well, the oldest one we have is 2004. She's probably still our best running one. But right around the 2007, 2008 era, they come out with the 6.0s, and we've had they were good initially, but they had no distance, no life.
So that 04 was our fourth ambulance,
Yes.
and it's kind of just sat there on reserve, and we still have it?
Sure do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's still in rotation. I have to rotate them around that way to try to spread mileage out on them. Right now, she's been a frontline truck because the 07s and the 08s have been in and out of the garage quite frequently. So she's actually been a frontline truck.
So you're rotating those ambulances in with Knox County?
Well, with our fleet, now they do have some loaner trucks that come over when ours go into the garage. They send their trucks over, and we do rotate them around too as well. When the loaner trucks are over, they are also in our rotation. And then they have some trucks they use for their convalescent transports that they do for other facilities they have contracts with and stuff. So, and when they're not in use, then we have access to them too to utilize for emergency uses. So,
This is one of the main ambulances, isn't it?
yes, this is one of our yes, this is one of our frontline trucks. The quotes, we currently have the van cutaway type of chassis. They're more and more and more difficult to find. There are some vendors that still have them. They're basically what we have now, the van cutaway. The quote that has from MedTech, they still can get those chassis. And then on the back of it, I highlighted, there's subtract the difference from the pickup. All of them are quoted for pickup truck chassis, but on the MedTech quote in the rear of it, there is one that's got for what we currently have. And it's got the 6.7, an option of a 6.7 diesel or the V10
gas engine. Diesel probably better performance, longer life. The V10s that are out, there's just not enough study for emergency vehicles because they're fairly new, so there's not enough research out there to say that, you know, the livelihood of them or how long they last.
So what do we stand on the payoff on those other two? I know it's right.
I think they're paid off this year. I'm thinking they get
Both of them?
either,
Do you know, Tom?
I think it's this year.
I think it's
It was
this
a
year that
4-year.
they're paid off. I think it's at the end of in December, I think they will be paid off. Now, I'd have to go back and look and see, and I don't have that with me. I was thinking they got all paid off.
Yeah, study those days and make a recommendation. Let's put it on. I don't know which one.
I know with the 6.0s, the ones we had one they did put a new motor in. It's had a lot of return visits and a lot of, that engine's just a plague with problems. But
Is that the one that's in Morrison?
there, yes, and we had, and actually the one that we had put in actually went out before its warranty was up. So Jasper honored it, so we have another one that's actually, the engine for it's being replaced by warranty.
What was
That's
the
ambulance
engine
019.
replacement cost? What was the engine replacement cost?
The total for a complete is $15,781.14. And then if a long block replacement would be $10,234.41.
What was the chassis replacement cost? Chassis
Oh,
replacement cost?
okay. To do what we have, to match it up for a van cutaway, would be, go back to the Crossroads quote, the very back page of it, roughly for initial, for the pickup replacement would be $71,841, and the savings you would have if you stuck with the current van cutaway, if you subtract $11,530 from it. So we're looking 70, probably 70, 71,000, I call it.
Okay.
Just the supply and the service. Yeah, it's so we got a Donley Safety of Indianapolis, and then we have Crossroads Ambulance,
Yes,
Sales and Service. These are the two quotes
Yes.
that you got
for remounts.
for remounts.
Yes, taking the existing box off and just putting it under a new chassis.
Both of these are remounts?
Yes, the Donnelly, there's 3 options, one with the Dodge Ram,
Yeah.
one with 4D350 with the V10 Triton,
Right.
and then the other one with the 6.7 Power Stroke on
Okay.
pickup chassis.
4350.
Uh,
Now,
Cross,
these are just to purchase the chassis,
Mhm.
take the box,
Yes.
set it on it.
Well, and they'll, cosmetic, they'll repair the box, any issues that need to be looked at or dealt with. And they've already looked at them and kind of pre-screened it.
Then you go to Crossroads Ambulance Service, okay?
Mhm.
And they're a 2014
Mhm.
Chevrolet G4500 chassis,
Mhm.
and then remount and refurbish, just like the other two,
Yes,
for that price.
yes. For the 72,341
How can there be that much difference?
with the vendor's quotes.
Yeah.
I would say probably with the repair, the technician cost of reinstalling and remounting,
Talking half.
probably so. Yeah, Donnelly, they're in a pretty upscale, they're in Indianapolis, these are two local Indiana vendors. The only two I really had to reference, because there's Lifestar, which is in North Carolina, which with Indiana vendors, at least we could have it done in the state of Indiana if there's any warranty issues.
Right.
and-
Yeah, I just.
But those are my only two
I don't
options.
understand why it's only half. It's only half the amount to do the same thing. One company charges you half the amount to do what this one does. Is there something that we're not seeing in these papers, or what?
Well, these are the quotes that he gave. We had
Those are it.
Where's
both
Crossroads?
vendors coming in,
Where's that one located, Crossroads?
up in Goshen, Elkhart and Goshen.
Where do we get the present to? Where'd they come from?
They were from the same vendor when they were MedTech Sales, so they used to sell ambulances. Now they just do refurbs, remounts, and things.
I got another question. What is our contract and our obligation to the ambulance? Do we furnish the ambulances to the building,
They rent the building.
and they rent the building for $1,500 a month?
We supply the two ambulances.
But then they're also paying $23,233 subsidy for $280,000 a year. Can somebody explain this to me?
We used to subsidize the local hospital, Washington County Memorial Hospital, which was a county hospital, to run the ambulance service. And it was managed by Jewish. St. Vincent's came along and didn't want to do it, but we talked them into it, and they agreed to a contract, and then came to us at the end of, I forget what year it was, it said effective November 1st, we're terminating this agreement. And we begged them to hold on until the start of the year to give us a little more time, because basically a 2-week or 3, whatever short notice it was, wasn't enough time. So we solicited bids. Well, I mean, we talked to, or proposals rather, we talked to some different people. And Knox County came in and made a proposal to do it for substantially less than what we were paying, subsidizing the local hospital to run. And, but one of the problems that we had was we were providing our ambulance professionals a higher pay rate than what they would do, and we were also providing health insurance benefits. And so one of the things we said was, okay, we like your proposal, but we want you to pay our employees more and to try to provide health insurance. Well, they ended up having to set up another company, as I recall, because other employees of Knox County Ambulance Service weren't getting, we were being treated better than other ones. And so we insisted that if we enter into a contract with you, you have to do better by way of the employees than what the existing employees did. Well, that changed their proposal. So they came back with a proposal to say, okay, to do what you want, here's what it'll charge, and we entered into an agreement. That's the best recollection I have. And if we want to bid out an ambulance contract, my only caution would be that you allow everyone under the same parameters, because Knox County had quoted substantially cheaper. I think it was $170,000 a year when they first came in, but we wanted them to do more. Now, as far as the boxes, as far as the trucks go, that was not really part of the deal. We had these trucks, was my recollection, and we wanted to use ours as opposed to Knox County's, because don't we have, are the trucks we have better equipped and?
At the time, yes.
At the time.
Yeah.
At the time, and we had them, and we were still paying for them, and so we, agreed to use those. I would have to pull out the contract, but I don't think we are required under the contract to provide trucks. But you got to keep in mind that when we entered into the agreement, that was the understanding, was they were gonna be able to use our trucks. So I think if we're gonna have to get the owners of Knox County Ambulance in here, if we decide we just wanna go with Knox County's trucks, let them provide them, that may change things, because I think that was part of the deal, and that's part of the lease payment they're making, was there was a property lease, a real property lease, and an equipment lease, all kind of lumped in together. It was all part of the same attachment of items. And the 4 ambulances we had at the time, the 04, and then I thought it was 08 and 09, maybe it's 07
No,
and
they're
08.
07, 08s.
Okay, we had 2 08s and 1 07 and
Yes.
1 04. And the 07 and the 08s, we were still paying on.
Until contract
March 1st,
March.
maybe?
First. But my question is, with the county always having a shortfall of money, I think we need to review it, because if they can come in here and make money off of it, I don't see why we couldn't make money off of it to help our own county. But I think we definitely need to look at it. But for us to keep buying ambulances, it looks to me like we got more going out than we got coming in here.
Well, it was my understanding that Knox County furnished the ambulances. We had 2 ambulances in pretty good shape that we kept on, that we were to put in the system to keep on standby whenever needed.
Yes.
That was what I understood. Now, I understand you gotta take them out once in a while and keep them maintained, but I didn't understand that they were to be in a rotation along with Knox County ambulances.
Yes.
Okay? I didn't understand that, and now, of course, we've already worn them out. Okay, now we gotta buy 2. So now we're starting to look at $250,000 to do, to keep all this on top of what we're already paying.
Sure.
Yeah, and that bothers me.
Well, where does the $23,333 come from to pay for what to Knox County? $280,000 a year.
What do you mean, where does it come from?
Where does it come
In the
from?
budget. it's
Taxes.
budgeted.
$23,333.33 a month for service just ended upon providers filing a monthly claim to the Washington County Auditor's Office. So we're taking it out of our budget.
We're putting it in our budget as an expense, just like we always did, prior to contracting with Knox County. And I think the number used to be higher, back when it was.
Oh, it was.
When it was the Washington County Memorial Hospital, we paid more, and this was a cost savings. We actually are paying less than we paid when we ran it ourselves through Washington County Memorial Hospital. Now, you gotta understand, there's scheduling to do, there's Medicaid billing to do, there's Medicare billing to do, there's health insurance billing to do, there's co-payments to contend with. There's employee, and I mean, if the commissioners want to do that and try to make money off of it, count me out.
Well, what I'm saying is,
And we also don't know about all this new insurance stuff, Bill.
granted, but
If it
do you
ever
think
does
Knox
anything.
County is gonna quit? And I mean, we have a money situation problem. We're discussing insurance, we're discussing everything else, from the highway to the blacktop to, why can we not consider looking at this?
Oh, we can.
Oh, yeah.
We can
I don't
bid that
disagree
out.
there.
When the contract's up, we can bid that out. All I'm saying is when we do, we need to be sure and make sure everyone's bidding the same thing, because we're gonna get bids that pays the employees less.
I would definitely like to look at this.
But I think it's March 1st. Did you have that?
Yeah.
Is it March 1st?
We got 5 months.
I would really like to study this, Troy.
Sure.
I agree with Phil, we need to look at the whole thing, we need to look at Knox
Absolutely.
County contract.
Sure.
But to me, when you hire an ambulance service to come in and take over the county, it looks to me like the ambulance is a big part of the service.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a consideration for
I
your-
was under that understanding that was part of it, that's why we were paying what we were paying.
Sure.
but it seems to me like we're using ours
1st of February.
just as much as everybody else's.
Yeah.
Or Knox County.
Well,
And
and
maybe more.
well, these are all strictly for Washington County runs in and,
Well, I understand that.
yeah, I mean, they're
Yeah, I
not,
know.
yeah, I just want to make sure you guys wasn't thinking they
Knox
were.
County keeps them in.
Yes.
keeps Theirs.
They're
you
only
know,
for Washington
Where they can
County.
go, but we
Right.
keep ours, hey, I
Right.
understood that. I
Okay.
understand that part,
Okay,
but we're paying for an ambulance service.
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
so why are we getting Salem
Okay.
service?
Sure, and that's, I would just simply,
No,
our truck, we're.
I see
you know,
what you're saying.
Yeah, and I've just, basically, I alert you gentlemen to, hey, here we are,
How much does a new ambulance cost?
Well, I haven't quoted them for the new, but I would say probably roughly around 200,000 to get everything, and with the current lighting packages and technology packages and everything with
But
it.
you're saying we could use some of our boxes and
Yes,
retest
they're
it,
in
which
very,
would be-
very good shape. And
Okay.
my recommendation is whichever, whether it be Knox County or our commissioners, whoever decides, my recommendations would be re-chassis our boxes. We've taken really good
Yeah,
care of
let's
them.
put them on the chassis, that's
Yes.
what you got the prices on. here
Yes,
is
for
chassis.
remounts, that's kind of,
One thing I'm really struggling with though is why is 172,000 and the next one I look at is 116,000.
and that's something that the vendor, would,
That
because
just don't make sense.
when they came down, I requested them to look at it and do an apple for apple. Hey, we've had Ford, I know that now the trend is shifting to the pickup trucks for the durability of them and the engines. And I said, what would it take to
So
put
they quoted the same listing that.
same,
you gave
both gentlemen
Apples
came
and
and looked at both
David?
trucks and,
Currently, who is paying the repairs and operating costs of the two ambulances over in Washington County?
Knox County has,
They are taking care of
yes,
the
they
repairs.
service repairs and service.
What about the engines going in?
The engine's going in, the initial engine, Knox County paid for the engine that went into ambulance.
The way I understand, Knox County's they've already paid $25,000 since March on your ambulance repairs.
Yes.
On Washington County ambulance repair?
Yes. Replacing the engine in 0195 and then all the service and all the issues we've had with 0825.
Since March.
Thank you for coming in, Troy.
Yes, thank you, gentlemen.
Next on our agenda, Alan, Peter, and Abby, come up front, please.
All right.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Peter Konich. With me,
I think we already have those.
I brought them back to the,
oh, did you? Okay, we put a little extra stuff
oh,
on
they
it.
didn't have a phone, okay.
Just an extra reference. With me today, I have Abby Cotter and Alan McCloskey, who is the head of our Life and Health Department. About a month ago, we reached out to Sarah and set an appointment to meet with Sarah, Philip, and several other council members to go over cost containment and your guys' health plan to see if our organization that specializes in public entities can help you guys get more control over the marketability of your plan. And so we're just going to talk to you guys about some strategies that we have today and really what it is that our organization can offer to you guys.
Thank you. Consolidated Union comes to you with about 60 years' experience in employee benefits as well as doing property and casualty as well. What we did about a year and a half, 2 years ago, with the brink of healthcare reform on and not knowing exactly what was going to happen there, we developed a transparency and laid it over the top of all of our clients to say, okay, if the law holds, if it's put in place, what are you going to look like? What's your responsibilities? Where are the pitfalls and liabilities? Once we did that, I said, okay, if I say, I don't want to stand up and be able to break everybody's view there. What we did with that is said, okay, here's what you look like. Here's what we need to do. And one of the things that rang very, very clear to us is about 15 years ago, I've been doing employee benefits for 30 years. About 15 years ago, we changed our methodology in that. We went from a reactive healthcare to proactive. Because the only way I feel that you're going to solve the issue of budget crunches, things of that nature in healthcare is you got to re-educate the consumer. let's face it, we can make all the rules and legislation changes today, opening up the exchanges with 67% of the population believing it's still not going to happen, but yet they opened this morning. We've still got an uphill battle to go, and all it does is cost money. So what we need to do is go down to the participant level and change that ideology from reactive to proactive. How do you do that? You talk to them about what healthcare actually offers. With healthcare reform, they came out with 100% coverages for all proactive, healthcare and preventative health benefits, such as routine exams, mammograms, PSA tests, colonoscopies. Those all have to be covered at 100%. Well, you as an employer should make certain that your employees are getting that done. And if not, maybe they pay a higher premium for it. I'm just giving you options. Okay, this is on the table. We do it every day. I know it can be done. It's legal to do. But now what you do is obviously, if we keep doing things the way we're doing them, we're going to get the same results. If we change that up a little bit and start by the education process. Number one, our risk pools are going to get bigger through healthcare reform, and I'm not an advocate of it by any means, but there are some things that you can't totally cast away. And one of the things is we're going to get more people in the risk pool, and predominantly most of them are going to be younger, which have not seen a $5 drug card or a $10 office copay. I know these two individuals sitting here have never seen that, and thank God they didn't, because we're in a big mess because of it. But nevertheless, so with that, we had such a positive response from our clients. We went out to the marketplace and put on a marketing campaign and went around, and then this is why we're here. What we do a little bit different is you actually have to get your hands around the data that you're doing. Benchmarking is out the window today. I don't care what the county next to you does. I don't care what the county 3 away does or XYZ business. You've got people utilizing your plan. Your average age is this, your gender makeup's this, and here's how it's utilized. And you have to build some type of resistance back to the industry to say, justify what you're doing. And with that, it's simple as if somebody comes to you and throws a 15, 20% increase out, you want to be in the position to say, justify that. Because right now, I will tell you, more so than what's been over the last 15 to 20 years, the industry, where we don't think healthcare is affordable, I'll give everybody that, it's more competitive than it's ever been for 15 or 20 years. And we can't sit back and see where that's going to take us. You have to take advantage of it. For instance, something as simple as anybody with a January 1st, I'll just give you this, if you don't get anything else out and you don't like us, you can tell us to leave. But if you got a January 1st effective date, you'd be very much well worth your time to look at a 12-1 instead of a 1-1. And the whole reason behind that is, for the first time in the history of insurance, nobody can underwrite after 1-1. Well, the ins and outs and behind the scenes of corporate insurance America is they're going to split their risk pools. They know what they've got, history to 12/31, because they underwrote it. The age was this, how many heart attacks did they have, how many cancers, they can't ask that anymore. So they're splitting the risk pool. They've got the underwritten risk pool, January 1 on, they've got the ununderwritten risk pool. That's where they say the average age is this, here's your rate, tough, go on. So if we can get our clients, our prospects, whatever else as a part of that underwritten risk pool, you stand to fare better during the long haul and the progression. Because really what you have to look at with health insurance is a 3 to 5 year plan. We got to stop putting Band-Aids on things. It's easy for somebody to come in here and say they can save you 10%. Most of the time, history shows they're going to get it back at renewal, okay? And it becomes a Band-Aid. It's not a program. And the only way to get a program is you have to have some type of reporting. What we require is from our carriers, and we deal with a lot of carriers in here, and list some of them along with reinsurance carriers. We recommend monthly claims data that we review with our clients on a quarterly basis. You gotta know where you stand. At 6 months into a year, you better know where you stand, because you're heading for another renewal of what size of line item in your budget. You get a 20% swing in that one way or another, that's big dollars in terms of your budget because of what the overall total healthcare costs are. So where's the marketplace? Where are the vendors that we call insurance companies that we're trying to put in place to take care of our needs. We haven't talked about deductible, co-insurance, all that yet. That really doesn't mean anything as long as you got to comply. Your deductible can only be so high. Your out-of-pocket can only be so high according to Accountable Care and the new laws that are out. How much they're paying for it. Have you done your 9.5% testing for your premium contributions yet? Have you gone through all that? Accountable Care says in order to be called affordable, the employee contribution can be no more than 9.5% of their gross income, okay, on the employee side. Now, eventually, that will take into consideration the household income. That's right there in the law. So what we do is we will help people. We look at your payrolls and show you, based on what they're paying, what that 9.5% test is. Likewise, you know you got hour requirements now, 30 hours. Have you gone through and looked at all your employees for their majority of the year? Who works 30 hours? Things of that nature. That's all part of this compliance issue that we feel that's kind of our job to help you do that. Likewise, you get down to designing your benefit plan and watching it through the year so that the renewal process doesn't become such an waiting explosion to happen in terms of, well, how much are you going to hit us this year? Because right now, more than ever, we're going to have to look at the credibility, the service and the financial credibility of the insurers. Because and I'll give you, for instance, a company comes in here and gives you a 20% rate increase, and you're running about 70% of where they expect you to be. In other words, your loss ratio is about 70%. Why you hit me with a 20% rate increase? You're making money off me. Why? Well, you're right. We better sharpen our pencil to that. I mean, the insurance industry is no different than where you buy ambulances, pardon that, but you were just talking about it. Everybody's got market share, and for the first time, and I think it's important, most of our government entities, we explain this to, for the first time, the insurance industry and the medical profession are operating like we do in the private market sector, and that's off market share. They've never done that before. Hospitals, doctors, things of that, and they never operated off market share because they did what they did and you needed them, so what? Insurance companies the same way. Why? How dare you question me for a 20% increase? Well, we are, because here's what our experience is. Now, you either got to get more competitive or we're going down the road. Will be somebody else's market share that's competitive. If they can't do that, then they're having problems of their own. Poor investment experience. Higher than normal loss ratios that you're helping bear the brunt of. Now it's more important than it was 20 years ago to know where you stand in relationship to that. That's something that our company does a little bit different. We also offer and own our own wellness plan. Now, I don't like to call it wellness anymore because everybody calls theirs wellness. It's actually a culture shift, is what I like to call it.
What?
Culture shift. We're shifting the culture of the participants to be more proactive than reactive, okay? Simple things like health risk assessments, biometric screens. When I first started doing this 15 years ago, it was Big Brother. Oh, you're trying to tell me what to do and blah, blah, blah. Now, we've got a risk pool of about 15 to 17,000 people in it. It's operating on average about 67% of where the actuaries expect their claims to be. Well, I can tell you that's real marketable. I can go to carriers and get pretty aggressive with that. That's 67% of where the actuaries expect their claims to be. That means there's 33% in there for them there, okay? So they'll look at that. And it's based on utilization and bringing qualified individuals in front of the consumer. Today when somebody goes to the doctor, you go to the doctor, why? Most of the time because you got something going on. So once that's treated and you're out of there, what do? I can't use a better analogy. I used to coach a lot of Little League baseball. And what I looked for in my players was, even though they were between 9 and 12, was who picked up the bat and the mitt and the ball between practices and games. That was my players. That was the ones that I was going to start. That was the ones that were better. Who jumped into that later on? That's what we were looking for. Well, that's what we're looking for in healthcare if we're going to curb it. Okay, I go to the doctor because I got a problem. Well, now I'm going because I need a physical. I haven't had one for a while. Or I'm going in because maybe my blood pressure's up and I'm going to start taking a pill or something like that. And we want to build a liaison or a catalyst. And this is kind of hard for a lot of us to believe, but we need to build a catalyst between us and the healthcare system. I'm not here to put any primary care physician out of business. I'm here to turn their level of patients into an annuity or more proactive than reactive. For instance, I'd love to see doctors that have on average 2,500 to 5,000 patients who see their patients, about 25% of them every year. I'd like them to see 65 to 75% of their patients every year. And they won't always be because I got something wrong. You'll pull your costs down, okay? It's that simple. It's not a home run. You're not gonna put a program in like this and boom, there it is. But boy, you get a handle on the utilization tendencies and compare that to what's out there in the marketplace, and we can stop some of this, what I call baptism by fire. It's easy for me to come in and say, well, we're gonna increase your out-of-pocket about $3,000 and we're gonna save you some money. But, okay, once everybody gets used to that and we continue the same buying habits and everything else, we'll be back in the game, sitting at the same table, talking about the same dilemma in about 18 months.
We appreciate you all coming in and presenting your proposal. Health insurance has been a big problem for counties, most counties probably do, and I think we're going to try to save the taxpayer as much as possible
Sure.
in the future, and that'll be coming up very soon. So if none of the other commissioners have a question, we appreciate your proposal. And
Yeah, what we'd like to do is have the opportunity to bid on it and show you dollars and cents what we're talking about in the plan. But I didn't want to bore you with that, but I think it's important. We're not just out here with the sign. There's a little bit more to do than just sell you a policy.
thank you all for coming in.
Who should we contact? Will you
Sarah,
publicize your bid specs
Yeah,
and all that? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Do you know when, Sarah, do you know how far out you usually put that out?
well,
They haven't decided to go
they've
with
not
it or
decided
Okay.
yet whether to do it or not, but,
Oh, okay. Okay, so we'll just keep following up and if you,
Right,
right.
okay. Great.
stay in contact with Sarah.
All right. Thank you very much for your
Thank you
time.
very much.
Very nice to meet you.
Bill Reed from NDOT is here. Bill Reed. Mr. Godfrey from Soil and Water. Morning, Tom.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me give you an update on what's going on in Soil and Water. The young lady, Miss Borden, that we hired back in March to be our office coordinator and program manager, has left us for another job. So that puts us in a position where we would like to find a replacement for her. So the reason I'm here this morning is coming for you all and get the approval for us to do that. We'd like to see you continue to put her salary, put this position in the budget, her salary or his salary. And if you can give us the go-ahead on that, then we can get the green light on hiring another person.
County council meeting Monday, and we'll put that on the agenda item also. But this is part of our ordinance, replacement in there without automatically having that done, so this is a procedural issue. And it's already budgeted for that amount, so.
That's a replacement, we'd already approved it.
Right.
Bill made a motion to,
This is a full county employee.
Phil made a motion, you go ahead and have a replacement, we want left.
Okay.
Dave second, thank you, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Full speed ahead, Tom.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Bill Reed. Late because of the way we're working on the project, right?
Pardon me?
I said you're late because you're already working on the project.
I apologize, I'm late, I got called into a meeting
Good morning.
just where I was getting ready to leave, so. Hi there. I'm out here about State Road 56, east of 135. We're going to be reconstructing that road, and my particular point today is we need to have a detour route, because we're going to be closing them. And what we like to use is old 135, going through downtown. Use the bypass, come around, hit old 135. Come on through, but to do that, I wanted to get your agreement to do that and to sign, I got a little document here to sign. The way NDOT handles that is they'll come out and videotape the road, and any damages that occurs after we get started on the project, then we'll take care of that. Either you'll fix it and we'll reimburse you, or typically I think that's how it's handled. So that is what I would assume you would like to take a look at this.
How long will it take?
There's a couple copies there. What I'm planning on doing is next summer, we will relocate the utilities. There could be a little bit of closure at that time as the utilities are crossing the road. And then the next summer, do the construction of the roadway.
And once you start that, how long?
I don't know for sure. I'm guessing about 3 or 4 months that'll be closed. It'll probably take a little longer than that to do the whole job. The job starts at, I believe it's High Street, and goes out to Heritage Chapel Road, just a little bit east there, with the exception of what's been done with the bypass. We won't be redoing that.
I had talked to Bill over the phone about a week ago, and I wasn't even aware that the county had anything other than the city. But we apparently have a little stretch there that we need to get approval on.
Where the bypass comes into
Yeah,
135 coming north for a little ways, that's county, to the first street.
yeah, not much. But we
It's not very much, yeah.
10 days, isn't it?
I don't know, I
Jim Day
would say
Road.
probably,
Do what now?
Bypass into Jim Day Road.
Oh, you're on the wrong side. We're on the south side. Here. There's a drawing.
We're going down 135.
Okay, here's Jim Day Roads right here.
Gotcha.
We're going to take the bypass down, cross over 60, over to 135. This piece from here to here is county. From here on in is city.
see that little bitty stretch there, Bill?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't need to.
Yeah, I didn't either. So,
But for approval of that, I'll go ahead and put that into a motion that we go ahead with this agreement with NDOT. I think you have to go through the city too, correct?
I do, and the reason, typically we would not do this at this early a stage, but this is going to be the official detour route. It's going to be on the plans. I didn't want to put this out on the streets and all of a sudden find out I have a problem after we got a contractor.
I'll second.
Here's
Dave made a motion, Phil second,
Here's the signature
approve
page.
county's
I don't get to keep this?
You get to keep one. I need the other two.
to have a detour. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous.
So everybody sign theirs. We need 3 signatures, right?
Please.
3
Yeah.
sets of signatures.
Get a copy of that. Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was gonna, no, you get one copy and I need
We're keeping 1,
two.
he's taking 2, we're doing 3.
It has been a while, but I still remember commissioners had theirs 3, and as a matter of fact, I went to your old commissioner meeting room,
Oh.
so I am
That's
really
why you're
sure.
running late.
Well, that's part of it. I just got a late start.
Did they
Here's
tax,
one
did
sign.
they
You
assess
can
you
have
with
that.
taxes while you were in there?
No, I slipped out real fast. So I really am showing my age, aren't I?
Yeah, you look good.
I didn't know if you had any questions about the project or not. I did bring the plans along in case that did come up, so.
What's it gonna do, just widen it all the way through?
Basically, it's not a lot of widening as much as just reconstructing the road through town. Then as you get, we'll have an urban section till you get to Salem Street, and then it'll start to go to rural, and those shoulders are gonna get a little bit wider, and then after about Jim Day Road, it just resurfaced, and we skipped that chunk that's already been done.
Is it common procedure, like when you took the one house there east of the stoplight, that you compensate somebody that's been renting a property so that they can find a new place? Is that just hearsay, or did that really happen?
I would have to check that out. How that works, I don't know. That's in the buying part of it, and I really don't have a whole lot to do with that.
There's two there.
Okay.
Joe, do you want a copy of this also?
I guess we could have one, yeah.
I'll-
We maintained this part of the road last year.
I'll make a copy and I'll just put it in the box there in the office.
Now, Randy Fishvold will be coming back with you. We will probably have an unofficial detour, well, not probably, we're gonna have.
We have one, she's already contacted me, we've already done it.
Oh, you already did it already? Okay, but she's ahead of me.
Yeah.
Okay, no more questions, I'm done.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. And again, I apologize for being late.
That's okay.
Next on agenda, Tracy and Jack.
Morning, gentlemen
Good morning.
and ladies. We're here on behalf of the Bicentennial Commission and the Historical Society. As you all know, Washington County is going to be 200 years old in 2014, and we're trying to do the best we can. At 150, we brought 60,000 people in town, 35,000 one Saturday and 25 another, and we think that we should put a pictorial history together, and pictorial history plus history itself into a book, and Tracy Winters has come down and offered to do this for us. We've been out and getting sponsorships for it, and he's been doing quite well with that, but we would like for the county to participate. So Tracy, I'll let you take it from here.
Absolutely. I'm Tracy Winters of Winters Publishing from Greensburg, Indiana. Been working with the Historical Society for 18 months to 2 years on this, trying to get it put together. And so we're making progress now. They have a writing committee who's working on the text and assembling the photos for it. And so they're deeply involved in that already. And we'll be doing all the layout and design work for them. What they're going to come up with will be a nice full-color hardcover book. This will be a nice keepsake for the town for the bicentennial. It will be the 8.5 by 11 size. Ours is probably going to be, and I've got a couple of samples you can look at. Probably going to be a vertical format as opposed to the horizontal, simply because using the courthouse on the front cover, and it lends itself better to that vertical format. But it'll still be the 8.5 by 11, still be a nice hardcover book. So it'll be the about 160 pages. The one that you have in your hands up there is 128. That's what they originally planned on. But the writing crew came to one of their Historical Society board meetings and said, hey, we have too much to fit in 128 pages, so it looks like we're going to go up to 160 pages on the book. So it'll be a nice piece. About 50% text, 50% photos. So it'll be a nice blend to show a lot of the photos and documents and the events that happen in the life of the county and town, but also have enough text to carry the storyline through. We are looking for sponsors, as Jack mentioned, and doing fairly well on that, but still a little short of our goal. And we have a variety of levels available. Top level is $2,500. That's our platinum level, and then we go on down from there. There are some benefits to that. In the back of those books, you can see kind of how we have the sponsor sections there. But we include for the top two levels logos there, and then a different amount of text goes down as a dollar amount goes down on the sponsor level. So gold from platinum to gold, silver, bronze, and the friends level. So
Now, will these be sold
available for purchase?
They will be, and this will be a fundraiser for the Historical Society. They will get 1,000 copies of the finished book. Sponsors also get some copies as part of the sponsorship. Those are in addition to their 1,000 copies, so they get the full 1,000 copies. Looking at around a $40 retail probably if it's going to be 160 pages. So what they're hoping for the sponsorships to completely fund the production cost. And we're over 3/4 of the way there at this point. So we're getting there, but still have a few thousand to go. And if they can do that, they're going to make up to $40,000. There'll probably be a pre-publication price of $35 to encourage people to do some pre-sales before it comes out. But hopefully, by the time all the books are sold, it'll be between $35,000 and $40,000 for the museum. So
This is going to serve two purposes. One, in order to establish a history book for the community, and also we need about $40,000 to re-roof all those buildings down there, and we just don't have the money to do it. So this is one reason why we took this program on. And we feel it's essential to our birthday to get this book published, and it'll be a nice history book for the future.
So how many copies do these sponsors get?
Well, we're giving a lot of books away to the sponsors. However, most of them have agreed to give them back to the Historical Society so that it won't hurt our
especially those at the
sales.
higher level. I mean, the Friends level gets one copy of the book for $125, and then it goes on from there up to 40 copies at the $2,500 level. But some of those folks, as Jack said, have said, yeah, we'll keep a couple for our offices and things, and they're looking at donating some of those back to the Historical Society so they can even have more copies to sell and raise more funds for them to preserve their place there. But you know, our goal, Jack, is twofold. We're trying to give you the best history book that we can for the bicentennial, and it'll be from. There was some discussion on how to do it, whether to start from the 150th, since there was a book done then, and come up to the present. But a lot of folks don't have that book, so we're doing the entire 200-year history of the county and the entire 200-year history of the city. We'll be combining that book, since it's both Washington County and Salem's bicentennial next year. So they'll both be
Really impressive book.
Thank you. And it'll be a similar theme because that one is also a city and county. It's Greensburg and Decatur County combined in that one, so it'll be a similar format to that one.
And it will be a vertical book rather than a horizontal.
Right, just because of the cover we went with, so we're probably going to switch that around, but it'll be the same size, 8.5 by 11. So.
What do you need from us?
Pardon?
What do you need from
Well,
us?
we'd like for you to be a title sponsor, $2,500. And you'll get your ad in the paper with the commissioners, county commissioners, and the names. And you don't have to pay it today. We can file a claim next spring, you know, and do it, because that's when the book's coming out, and so there's no particular hurry on the funds.
This year, effective next year, we changed our allocation on edit funds, so that more goes into paving. But we have also made our last payment on our contribution to the airport project. So there would be economic development, income tax money, I think, available. I don't know what ended up with our budget on the, we had money coming out for the for the animal shelter, and then we tried to create that as a separate line item. I don't know if that got approved.
I don't know if it
Yeah.
is
It's a separate line item.
So that's not coming out of,
Yes, we took it out of edit.
it's
back
not
in the
coming out of
separate
edit
line.
now.
No.
It's out of the state, we haven't,
I'm 95% confident that you could afford a contribution.
To the city, have you been to the city yet?
Yes, we have, and they're
We're
We have-
scheduled for the next.
14th of October,
14th,
they
they're going
want us
back
to
to
come
October.
back. But Mayor Bauer said that they wanted to participate.
He has personally, but he also wants the city to be
They're gonna do
involved.
the platinum, but
Pardon?
they're gonna do the
Yes.
2,500.
I'm not sure what level they're going to do it there. That's what we're approaching them about. So I haven't heard for sure what they're looking at. So
It was originally gonna be the Salem Centennial, and then it changed to Washington County.
Well, Yes, it started out there because the Salem group put up original money to do the bicentennial, and the county at that time didn't have any funds, and they wanted to participate, but didn't have any funds, so we automatically came back and made it the Salem, Washington County bicentennial.
I'd personally like to be a sponsor.
Art, you would?
Well, thank you.
If I get one of these.
You do.
You do.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Bill makes a motion that the county participate with donation $2,500.
Wasn't on second for me, and I always wanted to hold something over Jack Mahurin's head. I just kind of want to sit here for a little bit, enjoy it.
I was warned about this.
Okay, that's enough, I'll second it.
There is a bead of sweat there, so you work.
Bill made a motion and David second that we be a $2,500 sponsor for this pictorial history book of Salem, Washington County bicentennial.
Out of edit.
Out of
Come out of it.
the, out of the
Yeah.
18%, it's 18% now, and it's 25,
15
15,
or 18.
15 or 18, anyway, that's where it'll come out of. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous?
One other thing, possibility that maybe some of your vendors could assist us in this, and I don't know, maybe Gerald could help us with that.
Highway Department.
No.
People who provide.
Vendors, your
people
pipe
who-
suppliers, your stone suppliers, and
Oh.
people like that. Because I don't
The
know
ones we
if
do
it,
business with.
pardon?
The ones we do business.
Yeah,
To work here in the county, I think the office thinks about that.
How far away is Decatur County?
Decatur County? About an hour and a half from here.
Jack and I are pretty frugal. Can we sell these to Decatur County?
Thank you so much, and we'll see you, Tom. Thank you.
I've never seen you wipe sweat from your brow. That's pretty funny.
Thank you, gentlemen, appreciate it.
And then if you want to be, John said, or
Thank
Tom
you.
said he'd be a personal
Appreciate it.
sponsor. If any of you are interested, well, we'll be glad to
Thank you, sir,
accept.
appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll work with you. We can get you a copy of the bill, and the check does go to the Historical Society, not to us, so it gets paid to them, so I'll find out how we need to do that in the future. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Let's see. We don't have Shirley or Drew, you want to? Pam, you want to come up and tell us about, draw you and Gerald about
I had, for the commissioner's information, I had asked Pam and Gerald to come. There's been a big confusion. And we got, back in February of 2013, we all got a letter. Phil, I've lost my letter.
You got another copy here, I think.
Well, we thought we were going to get one lump sum, but that didn't happen.
Hang on.
You got another copy of that?
Yeah.
What did I lose that? Can't be too far. Ah, got it.
I ain't got mine.
Back in 2013, we received from Indiana Association of Indiana Counties, Inc., from the state, from Indianapolis, local governments would receive some much-needed funding for road maintenance and improvement projects in 2013 state budget. That's what it says, which passed out of the Indiana House Ways and Means Committee this week. Association of Indiana Counties, AIC members, met with the legislators this week to offer their support of the bill during the AIC's annual legislative conference. This is the memo we received in February of 2013. So, it only made sense to inform the County Highway Department we were going to receive $612,000, because that was our cut of the whole 84 million or something like that.
207 million.
207. Well, our cut was $612,000 for Washington County. Well, that, apparently, one thing we really got to look at is the state's year is not January to January, it's July to July, okay? So, we're gonna let you go ahead and tell us what you did on setting the county highway budget the first time, okay? How you set it up and what happened. And then we're gonna go from there because we got other information to talk about. So we need to really take a look at this and see how we're gonna get everything back on where it needs to be, okay?
Well, if you'll take these sheets that I made out, and if you'll notice, I'm just going to start, I had made quite a few phone calls to the district level, to the local level, trying to find out, local, what I mean is Seymour, and then finally, Gerald kept saying, can we not get anybody to respond? So I finally just went straight to the state auditor's office, and I talked with Dan Baston, and this was last Thursday. And he informed me when they did the state legislature and they met, they actually said, as I put up here, beginning with the new 2014 state fiscal year budget, which like Dave said is from July to June, there is a substantial change in the MVH monthly distribution. And that's calculated through your budget, okay, that we are talking about. And this does take effect, or did take effect, as of July 1st of this year, because that is the state budget year. Okay, it's not ours, but it's the state budget year. The two key components that came about that we were able to get all of this money was because, if you'll see in item 1, they used to pay out like the Indiana State Police, forensic science, all these different funds. Now they are not taken out of the MVH fund anymore, or what we call the Motor Vehicle Highway Fund, okay? What they added to the Motor Vehicle Highway Fund is a new revenue. They added 1% of the sales tax to the MVH fund, okay? That's where we had all this surplus of $207 million. Within that $207 million, they split it between the counties got 32%, the cities and towns got 15%, so even the city of Salem gets money, and Saltillo, different cities will get a certain amount of money as well. And NDOT got 53%. On the second page, I actually put on there, I wanted to show you, I left you Dan's name and number, because I told Dan yesterday I wasn't going to come here and make a fool out of myself and not know what I was talking about. So I spoke with Dan again yesterday, figured out I had all my ducks in a row, and he specifically said, this $600,000 is included in the 2014 estimate budget, okay? So it is a monthly draw. It's not a one lump sum. He said a lot of counties are misinformed about that. He said he didn't know where they all got that information, but he said it's definitely misinformed, and there's a lot of them. I called 3 counties yesterday. One didn't know anything about it. The other one didn't even think it started till the first of the year. They didn't think they got anything this year at all. I mean, it's just a total mess, it seems like, of the surrounding counties that I've been talking to. And in the MVH formula, which I'll show you, you'll see where the percentage is higher where we do our budget, okay? So if you'll go to the next page, he told me this money does start our first draw August. All of our money is in the rears. So what is brought in July is paid out in August, okay? So when we got our August distribution for just the MVH, we have MVH, MVH1, and MVH2. This only affects MVH, okay? So the MVH amount is greater than what it was last year. So he said the best thing to tell us to do to figure that money out is take the distribution from MVH from 2012, compare it to the MVH from 2013, and that's your difference. So on this,
that's what's coming
monthly right now.
Additional 612,000. That's
Correct.
612.
Correct.
Is that?
Correct. So what I've done for August and September is I can tell you exactly what goes into that fund for us to work on the roads. For October, November, December, he said it's roughly in the 30 percentile range. Okay, it'd be 30% more than what you received last year for the MVH draw in 2012. So I took that figure that we received and added 33%, because he said it's roughly 33 to 36%. So I took and kind of gave you a rough estimate of what we will receive by the end of the year. One, because Temples actually has agreed to us, if the guys want to start working on some of the roads, they will actually allow us to do the work, and then we can pay it as we get the money in. Because right now, you know, the weather is decent, and a month from now, you know, we don't know what we're going to run into weather-wise, okay? If you go over to the next page, don't pay attention to the middle part, I messed that up. But at the first, it says each county will receive an increase in the MVH, not the 1 or the 2, but just the MVH budget. And the estimates are done by percentages. And if you look at the bottom of the page, and I gave you examples on the next 3 pages of the budget 2014, 13, and 12. And if you look in the middle of the pages, on the budget for 2014, our percentages is 135, 129, and 142. This is a calculation. If you look in 2013, our percentage is only 103%, and then in 2012, it's only 102 and 100% of the calculation. So you can obviously see right there, that's where they put in the extra money. So when the auditor's office does the calculation for what we use for our budget, it's in that estimate. What we misunderstood when we first got our budget, of course, was they give it to you in May and expect you to have it done by June. In fact, I think Sarah had just received this like right before the day of or the day after we did our budget. And we went back and scrambled and did it, but we thought the $600,000 was up and beyond this $2,054,000. So we went and did our budget for $3 million something odd dollars because we went $600,000 over that. Come to find out last week when I talked to Dan, that's not the case. So I went and spoke with Michelle, and I've redone the budget, but I had to cut $600,000 out of our MVH fund. So that $600,000 that I had extra for whatever, it's not there. I mean, we basically what Gerald and I did is we took the 2013 budget, and if you take that $600,000 off of this, we're roughly $80,000 less than what we were in the 2013 budget.
So 600,000 less than 2.543 million is going to bring you down to 1.9.
That's what that box is right there that I circled, yeah. So what I did is, been talking to Michelle pretty closely, and her and I have worked out some stuff, but I did attach these sheets here. The black on the right-hand side is what we originally proposed to you guys, and then you can see on the figures on the inside is what I had to cut back. I know, there's a lot of issues, and I may be talking out of turn, so
The
slap me
figures
if
on
you
the
need to.
now, the one on the 2014 request, those that are originally written in,
No, they're on the right-hand side.
on the right-hand side.
Yeah,
are
it
the
says
ones
originally approved.
that you had done for 2014.
Mm-hmm. The
Okay,
ones on the
that's ones we need to
inside,
look at then, right?
yeah, the ones on the inside are the ones that I went back and went through.
The way I understood Councilman Hoare was, we can't even change this budget.
That's
that
what
correct?
Michelle was kind of explaining to me, and they can tell you about that.
Okay. But there's still monthly money coming in to that one line item.
Well,
To
it
the
comes
fund.
into the fund, then we have to appropriate it to that line.
Well, I know it comes in the MVH fund,
Yes.
but it's gotta be turned around and appropriated. I'm concentrating mainly on the county because that money, that particular amount of money has to go just for road maintenance only. It can't go for anything else. We've got to make sure that it stays in that
Right, and that's
area.
what Michelle said. That's my responsibility
Yeah, yeah.
to make sure that, and her and I have talked about that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't have any
So
problem with
you're
that.
going to do it clerically at the highway department,
And then I'll let her
and there's a
know.
line item for us to look at on the council.
Right.
Then we're gonna turn around and base everything on, we're gonna base that dollar difference though on the 2013 budget. Is that correct?
Your
Is that what I'm
2014,
hearing?
your 2014 budget is going to be 80,000 less than your 2013.
Yeah, if you took out that 600,000, it's actually 80,000 less.
Yeah, 80,000 less dollars. Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So in other words, if they had not appropriated more MVH money to that fund, our budget this year would have been $80,000 less than 2013.
Right.
So, and the other thing, I don't know if you realize this or not, that Dan spoke and told me about, you know, their year is from July to June, and this law will take effect until they change it. He said they may or may not change it. And, you know, they do the state budget every 2 years. So he said they're hoping to keep it this way. So, you know, it may be.
Well, what they're saying is, we know that we're good for 14 and 15.
Correct.
But we don't know after that. It may continue.
Right. They're hoping, but they don't know.
I'm
Right.
tickled death with 2 years, let alone anything else.
I know.
Anything else
You
but
go down through those numbers, you'll see drastic cuts
Yeah.
in those line items.
Yeah.
I'd be
Well-
curious, and I don't presume you asked this, but did other counties get a cut in their, you know, absent the additional distribution on paving or road maintenance?
Well, I know when we were originally talking with Sarah and Michelle, Sarah said, she said, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they cut the budget. Because a lot of times when you do the budget, you'll add. Remember, because I asked you about adding 10%, and she said, be really careful about adding 10%, because she said, I don't know if they'll have it to give. So, I don't know if they specifically did this knowing that the budget might be cut, and they were just looking for money to be able, because I guess Governor Pence really wants the roads to be a lot better. And by what I've read and what I've understood, this was a big ordeal
From
to
the
get.
from the emails and messages I got though, I don't think I think the reason the money came up was some departments were done away with. I think that's the only reason why we got the money in the first place. I don't
Well,
think
they
it had anything-
reallocated, like, in this where I showed you the two things that they did, they reallocated certain monies into different accounts.
Right.
And then they actually, for the first time, put 1% of our sales tax into the MVH fund.
Yeah,
And that brought in $75 million itself.
well, I had one email too that showed that they were taking away a couple of departments.
Well, they might have, but
That
these
were
were
added.
this is what they eliminated, that they were paying out of the account, and then they added the 1% sales tax to the MVH to have the surplus to be able to give people more money.
So as you resubmitted this budget form, does it account for the $80,000 cut?
Yes, if you look at the very last page, Tom, you'll see on the right-hand side where we originally had submitted $3,155,000.
Gotcha.
And when I redid all the budgets, now it's down to the $2,543,000, which is actually the budget.
I just have I mean, the icing on the cake's nice with that extra money, but I don't understand.
They took away from others to.
Is there no way we could at least bring it back up? You know, use some of that, it's all gotta be used on road maintenance. We can't finagle.
That's what we've been told, and that's what we understood.
Specifically, I even got a letter, stating that. And if we did not do that, then they would turn around and cut whatever we didn't use for the next time they issued the budget.
Well, the first proposal of this, he was on the wheel tax, added to counties to do it, and they dropped that.
Yeah,
But the emphasis was put on blacktop,
yeah.
and that's nothing else.
They're really hitting that hard for stuff.
Now, Dan did say that, you know, they don't, if you want to chip and seal or, you know, as long as it's road maintenance.
Road maintenance.
They want the roads to be
Yeah,
better,
road maintenance.
and that's, so,
That was what I got, road maintenance.
Comply with that.
yeah. And I have to keep that separate
That's why we gotta
than,
keep that line item.
right,
Then on top of that, we need to take whatever blacktopping money we normally spend and keep a good accurate record on that. Because if we borrow from that area
Yeah.
and move it, then they'll cut that much.
yeah, because we don't
So
want
we've
to,
gotta
we don't want to
keep-
lose what we get.
Right, so we don't wanna juggle any of that around.
You need to take a hard look at these new figures.
I have that.
there's a bunch coming out, different line items.
Yeah, if you guys, probably the biggest is the bituminous. I went from 100, and I had to take money, big money from different places. So, that bituminous, it was at, like, right at 150, and I cut it down to 5,000.
That's a huge
So,
lift.
that's 150,000 that we normally would have. Yeah, we got the 600, but I'm still taking away to make the difference. So, I mean, it kind of washes out, I guess.
Well, we got 3 graders. Yeah. Just trying to learn to pull it up from the side of the road and put it in the middle.
So anyway,
That ain't no joke. I got a guy doing that today.
did you want to tell them what you told me about the budget? Did they know about that? Because it's already submitted to the state.
Yes.
Did you understand that?
Things would go on there, or you want,
Well, I mean, it's already been adopted by the council. We have submitted it to the state. What's going to have to happen after January 1, the council will have to go into the budget reduction for,
and that's the only place we can touch it at.
1782 came back,
Huh?
as the 1782 came
Oh,
back.
No. We won't see that till January, February in that area. And at that time, they'll come in there and they'll say, you'll have to reduce down these different categories. Where I think as this money comes in, of course, it's not earmarked, as far as coming in as a group fund in there. But we need to give back to the department in there as far as accountability, because they've got asphalt that's going on for new projects or whatever, and then they got this new money. So they're on hand with where that money is going to and what those projects are. So this money that you're talking about to verify to the state that it's going in the correct places, we need to keep it as close to the department as we can in there, knowing that the group money comes into the auditor's office and distributed up. But for accountability, so we don't lose track of it, it needs to be as close to that department as we can.
Well, it's gonna be.
Yeah,
The
and
problem,
that's
the
what-
question I have though is, we're gonna base everything off a 2013 budget.
Well,
We don't know what they're sending, as far as actual, the percentage amount from the state. We don't know the only thing we've got to go by is a 2013 budget and split the difference. Whatever's over, we're throwing in that account.
Yeah.
Is that correct to do that, or is?
That's what Dan from the state auditor's office told me the best thing to do.
what
I'd
kind
be
of,
curious,
kinda hit and
I'd be
miss.
curious what that final number is, if it's really 612, once you do that.
When I do the figures, it's actually quite a bit over 600,000.
Then there's something wrong with it.
See, it's coming, each month's different amounts each month,
Yeah,
not
it's
the same
different
amount.
amounts each
Yeah.
month. It's
Based
not,
on your,
it's not a
So
set
to me,
amount.
Dave, that's what I'm
2012.
saying, if you're working that way, then at the end of July, we may owe the county back some money out of that
money.
fund.
Well, that's my responsibility to keep that, I think. you
So
know.
what are you gonna do, keep a running total, when you hit 612, tell Sarah not to send you anymore?
Well, it
when
still goes in the MVH
comes in
fund.
our office, it comes in
It comes
one
one
deposit,
lump sum.
But
MVH.
are you keeping track of
No.
it?
No, I
it's
put
not
it in the
ours.
fund.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
am.
gonna be
So whenever
her.
she hits 612,000,
Right.
she needs to contact you and say, stop, I
Right.
don't want any more money from that.
No.
But
No?
No.
because I think your percentages that the state is, they gave you an estimate of 612.
Right,
That's an
exactly.
estimate. Well, actually, what comes in off of the road and fuel taxes and
Maybe
those
more
type of things,
up or down.
may be up or maybe more or less.
That's why you said it's in
And
the
that's what I'm
rears.
saying.
They
So
go
We're
on the actual
operating off a
figures.
2013 budget, so we're guessing.
see, that's why she's estimated here for
Yeah.
October, November, December.
I,
It's estimated to
but
be.
I don't
an
think
amount
it's
coming in.
612. I still think you gotta stay with the percentages, and if it goes up and above, then it's still the accounting process that goes on. And I think that the auditor's office the state auditor's office is gonna see that this has created some confusion as far as departments and
joke.
stuff. And I think that they're gonna come back and address that a little bit, and try to tweak this thing.
Well, I had 3 of them yesterday tell me, when you find out something, call me and let me
Yeah,
know.
they didn't have a clue.
Yeah,
These
They
are
didn't have a
other,
clue.
these are other counties?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, Lawrence County, Scott County, Orange
They
County.
don't have a clue.
They just,
Apparently we're getting it.
and even one, Clark County even said, we're not even getting anything this year.
Well,
And I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, I'm not opening my mouth yet until because that's why I called Dan again yesterday and said, okay, look. And his number, I told him, I said, I'm not going to go in there and look like a dummy. So I said, if they have any questions or anything, so his name and his number is on that, one of those sheets,
It is.
and you're more than welcome to
So
call him,
Clark
he
County's
said.
in for a big mess.
Well, what we're gonna do.
The auditor's office didn't even know anything. They gave me to the commissioners in the highway department, and that's the guy that told me that they weren't getting anything this year.
What's happening is that money's going into wherever they're putting it,
They don't know it.
and
They don't
they
know
don't
it.
know it. Should be
They
going
don't
in
know
different
it's
line
part
items,
of the
just like ours
MVH.
is gonna be.
All right,
They don't include it.
so as county council, what we're gonna do, since we can't do it in our October meeting because we haven't had enough time, in the November meeting, we're gonna make an appropriation to get this back in the right boat.
There you go.
So that's what we're gonna plan on doing in November, and it ought to be something like 260,000.
Yeah, that's what the estimation be.
That'll work.
So so we can get everything back in the right seat.
And you can contact some of those counties and charge them a consultant.
I'm just glad we called it now instead of
Yeah.
waiting until
He just
January,
kept
and we ain't got the money yet.
He just
Where's
kept
the money?
saying, why is not anybody calling me back? Well, nobody was calling me because nobody knew anything. That's the thing. They just didn't know nothing.
See,
And I'm not talking just us, I'm talking like
well, I know
the
this,
district
I
and
know it's
stuff.
been a big dilemma because I know we as commissioners got this memo in February,
Mhm.
you know, and it says we're gonna receive $612,000 in 2013. It didn't say 2013, 2014. It said you're gonna receive $612,000 in 2013.
And I think
Period.
probably what they're thinking is their 2000, well, that would actually be 14 budget, I guess, because they're going from July to June.
Well, they go to
so-
June, so it should have
Yeah.
been 2013, 2014 budget will
Yeah.
be 612,000. They didn't say that. They said in 2013, you're gonna receive $612,000.
Yeah, because everybody, well, I won't say everybody, but quite a few people thought it was one lump sum.
Yeah, but
We
they didn't
did.
sign that bill until
We did.
January.
I talked to a
I don't know
representative, he
anybody
didn't know the
think
difference.
it
He
was lump
thought,
sum.
Do what?
I didn't think
That's
anybody
why
that
we
did
got
think it
checks.
was coming in lump sum.
I'll check.
I
it
know,
out.
that's the way most of them I talked to thought the same thing.
I know,
We
you know,
said
you
we
guys
were
had asked
waiting.
every meeting,
Well,
council
everybody did think.
had to ask every meeting, have you heard anything about the money?
Yeah.
We made calls, nobody calls back, got an answering machine, nobody called back, finally went a little higher. Got
I had
that.
4 people call me from the state until I got on Thursday, until I got Dan. Because I didn't know who to call or,
Well, you had one commissioner calling you every week for the past 2 months, so I won't be bothering you anymore, Pam.
I bet, you'll
Pretty
probably
well.
find something else.
I'm sorry, now we
No,
got
you're
it
fine.
squared away anyway.
You're fine.
Thank you very much.
We're good?
I've got some more I'll bring up after you guys get through what you need to do.
Thanks, Pam.
Thank you, Pat.
Our circuit court clerk, Shirley Batt, on the hot seat.
County Council redistrict. You're at the wrong meeting.
No, I have to have approval from the board to be able to continue on. I think, Tom, did you get a copy of the letter from Drew? We had worked, Drew Wright and I had worked on the city council districts had to be realigned. And with that, then we find that the county council really needed to be realigned. I went ahead and sent in the information for the city council, which the commissioners had already did the resolution on that. And so that's what we would need to do then again for the county council districts. And Drew was kind enough to send a letter to Tom to give him a heads up on that. Because each district, they want you to try to have it as close to population size. And then whenever you divide the districts up, then each of the precincts still have to touch each other. And Our biggest problem we ran into was, of course, most of the population is centralized here in Salem, Washington Township, and then in the southern part of the county. So, here's a copy, and a better one, you guys got, of what we've proposed for the county council districts.
Did you use your own crayon?
I did. I used my own highlighter. And this is what we came up with to get closest to the figures that we had to go off of.
Population base.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Is that West Pierce over there at JD's
Mhm.
ranch? Is that easiest, best place to have that?
Our problem is there is not an adequate voting location for West Pierce or Howard. We would hope that maybe in the future, once, new fire department is built in Howard, or if there is a local fellowship hall from one of the churches, if they would be inclined to let Howard precinct vote at one of those locations, then you could move West Pierce over to closer to Pekin, because we still have to go within the guidelines of the precinct being within a certain mileage of the original lines.
What's the population in each one of these districts now?
Okay.
I do have it.
Council District 1 would be 7,593. Oops, oh, wait a
No,
minute.
that's not-
Sorry. 6,991. District 2 is 7,158. District 3 is 7,116. And District 4 is 6,997.
You know, that to be within what percent?
I think it's,
5, 3,
goal is
6,
5.
no,
maybe
yeah.
just 5.
Was it 5%, Drew?
Constitutional standard is you need to have them vary no more than 5%.
So they're now down to 1.1, 1.3 variance.
So you really didn't have to do it. Figuring, do you?
It was more looking at the fact of what the biggest precincts were, and then adding to them a smaller one until we was able to divide it out and get it as close as we could without crossing any lines.
So you need a motion from us for the redistricting of these?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all you need from us?
I probably would have to submit a copy of the minutes where it was announced or voted on in that.
I'll go ahead and put that in a motion.
The other ones, we had to have a resolution made. So I would ask if that could be accompanied with the minutes whenever it's sent into the state election board.
Let's second that, Bill.
Yeah.
David made a motion and Phil second that we go along with the recommendation of our secretary clerk, Shirley Batt, to make the boundaries for the districts of 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the county council for our county as presented to us. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous.
Thank you. Appreciate your help on that.
Yeah, I don't think we could have gotten it any closer. That's
Yeah.
pretty
We
impressive, actually.
tried several different combinations, and that was,
Mr. Andrew Wright, city attorney, come up forward. She first gets she changed it.
Am I on?
You are on officially.
I'm here representing the city of Salem today, and a few months ago, the city initiated through the County Plan Commission a proposal to amend the county subdivision control ordinance. And the situation that the city was trying to address was twofold. Number one, we wanted the county subdivision control ordinance to just delineate what the county has jurisdiction over and what the city has jurisdiction over. There's no dispute about it, just that for informational purposes, to put it into your subdivision ordinance. And the second thing, the primary thing the city is interested in is that whereas right now, if a person is going to split out a parcel of land in the county to make sure that it's not a subdivision, or to make sure that it's a proper lot and that sort of thing, why, right now, the county subdivision control ordinance requires that landowner to have that split reviewed by the county building inspector before then it can be processed and transferred. The city has never had that protection. Inside the city zoning jurisdiction, if somebody wants to split off a lot or make a lot that doesn't meet legal standards, all they do is have to make a deed and go to the courthouse, and it gets processed, and the city would never know about it. So we're just simply asking that the county subdivision control ordinance be amended to say that, just like for the county when a parcel is split off, and it's called an exempt division, you have to have your building inspector approve it, that within the city zoning jurisdiction, the same thing would occur. Before that deed could get processed, the city building inspector would have to sign off on it. And so we're just asking that, and the reason we have to have that is because the city can't pass an ordinance to tell the county auditor what to do. You're the ones that have jurisdiction over that. So it's just a matter of making the procedure uniform for how a split lot gets processed. So for the city, it would be the same process as for the county, other than it's the city building inspector that signs off on it. And if the city building inspector can't sign off on it, then they go in front of the city plan commission for subdivision procedures. So basically now the auditor, when presented, you're going to have to make sure that the city building inspector signed off before we accept the deeds for transfer.
And it'll go to the surveyor's office first anyway, before it gets to the auditor. But they'd be the one that would at least review it first.
So will the surveyor make the determination that they're within that as far as the line, or does the auditor need to have a map to make the decision?
Well, they both should have the map, but it's on Think Map. I mean, it's,
So there's an access for them to immediately take those coordinates and figure out, okay.
Surveyor should catch it, shouldn't he? Right off the bat. I mean, it's a first step.
Well, this is all new. This is kind of like the state though. We want to make sure we get everybody notified what needs to be going on.
I brought,
Attorney Wright has kindly prepared the ordinance, which he was presented to the Plan Commission, and they've made a favorable recommendation that the county adopt this, and so
Something should be done.
I brought the ordinance with me, and I don't know if you have one you want us to sign, if you want to just use this one. just make sure that this is the one that was updated to show that the hearing had occurred on September 10th. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, okay. That was fine.
Top of the second page,
Yes.
held a public hearing on the
Right.
vote, so.
This time, I entertain a motion to accept amendment of the county subdivision control ordinance presented by city attorney Andrew Wright.
To add the city under the same rules as the county. So moved on that.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous?
Well, thank you.
That was very painless.
Also, thank you on the council districts. That wasn't as hard as it looked. Impressed us.
Gerald, you want to come up and do some bridge talk?
I'm gonna let Paul here, he was a little better versed on it.
All right, all of you come up.
Got it, all right.
Morning.
Are you done?
I didn't hear the first question, I was talking through.
I think it was wanting an opinion on the emergency of the bridge and the condition, even though you've had your bridge guy do it. We also took a look at it also.
On the Bridge 58, we know it's closed. The existing southeast corner of the truss had shifted and split apart. The steel actually split apart. There are additional issues other than just the southeast corner. I did review a inspection report done in September of last year, which is they call it a fracture critical inspection report on the individual members of the Pony Truss. In that report, there were, this is even last year, 2 or 3 members on the bridge that had deteriorated up to 35%, and numerous that were between 10 and 20%. And I believe that's what spurred it on to get a rehab project for the coming year in 2014. But this failure has kind of, I think, expedited that process even more. From what I understand, the current bridge before the failure was rated at about a 12-ton rating, which, you know, with the rehab work was going to get it up to about a 15-ton rating. Grain trucks and log trucks, I want to say, probably use that bridge constantly. So it doesn't meet the minimum standards of the HS 2044 rating, which is 80,000 pound load rating. So presently, it's not in good shape and needs to be addressed.
And I'll add to that. Okay, to me, it is a failure, okay? And you do have an emergency situation here with a failed bridge to ambulance service, fire protection, and the liability of not reacting to it, okay? And we kind of looked at even the rehab, and to us, it's kind of a waste of money in a way, unless you just really want it, because you're going to spend the money on the rehab. You still ain't going to have anything. You're probably going to have people illegally crossing it. And the problem begins is, okay, I take 20 ton across in 4 days in a row, it don't fail on me. But the damage that's done, then here comes the bus, and that's the day the bridge fails. So it's kind of hard when you've got a bridge with a low rating, you can't police it. And to us, it just seemed like a waste of money to do a rehab on it, especially with the emergency situation here. Just put in a brand new clear span bridge, would be good for 50 years, and you got the full loading, you get your full bridge deal due to being the full width, and to us, it looked like the option that you'd want to take.
Can you get, I know one of the questions that come up out there was there might be a possibility that they'd have to put a column out in the center of that water travel, or the bed there, the river bed. Can we get spans long enough that'll stretch, I think it was 77 feet across there?
We went ahead and did a preliminary design, just to double check there, and we can do a clear span bridge there, give you the same opening and greater than you have today, with a clear span.
With, all the way across?
Yes.
And we got a 12-foot height between top and bottom.
What would be the rating on that type bridge, on a bridge? We go in there and we put in a new bridge, what's the tonnage rating on that?
It's considered
It's, the highway term is HS 2044, which is 80,000 pounds.
80,000.
which is the maximum legal limit that you can have log trucks, concrete trucks, or whatever. So that does make you legal for basically anything that's legal on a road or highway. It gives it a kind of a uniform standard.
And that's the type of bridge you're talking of?
Yes.
We need to get in there. I was with Leo and Gerald last year when we walked under these bridges, and that was probably the number one bridge on our priority list, because the beams themselves had holes you'd about throw a basketball through. I mean, we're talking the big I-beams, and they just completely rusted out. So we knew, that's why it was on the schedule to be put in so quick. It was next year. We thought at least we'd get a year out of it.
It was scheduled to be refurbished in 14,
Yeah.
but I think now, in my opinion, to refurbish it,
Yeah.
you're still gonna have the same thing you got. Maybe raise the limit a little. They're still gonna cross it heavy. Probably gonna waste your money.
Whoever gets to work, how long you think it'd take to replace it?
Well, if you went ahead and did it on emergency order, and went ahead and took proposals on design build, we could have something back to you in little as 2 weeks, and then you would order the materials immediately. Even under emergency, starting immediately, you're still looking at probably a 2 month.
Right, weather.
Or more.
Yes. And that's assuming that you bypass all of the
Yeah.
stuff that extends on to eternity time.
Anytime a bridge goes out, you've got an issue with safety, emergency vehicles, whether it's ambulances or fire trucks or whatever, and, getting across there. And so I can't imagine a bridge, I think somebody used the term partial collapse at the last meeting. This just needs to be done as quickly as possible.
South Boston have a volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
Right there on town.
Right there on 160.
On highway.
Well, it moves those people from a quarter mile away from the fire department to probably 8-9 miles around to get to them.
But Ken said earlier, we need to react. We did react. We shut it down. So there was a reaction. We just shut it down because, we didn't have any choice. The problem was when we put the barricades up, people still went around it.
Then we dumped the rock. That seemed to help for a while, but I got a call the other night, 4-wheel drive truck running over it.
The rock?
Went over the rock.
Rock went across the bridge, went over the rock, and went on.
You didn't see that hole in the middle of it? Yeah, all the way
Care
down
of
through.
it.
He jumped.
I said, anybody get a number or license plate number? No. So they're still gonna do it.
It's gotta be
It's
done.
just gotta be tore out and fixed.
Is there any way you can speed the timing up on
Well,
something like
the
this?
design build and taking proposals on the design build is your by far fastest possible. I mean, normally on a bridge like this, it could take up to a year from the beginning to the end. Here, we're going to streamline it down to hopefully a couple of months by doing the design build and taking the proposals, and then of course you guys would analyze them.
So what do we?
I think basically you need to put together a committee of 3 to
one of you guys, I talked to Leo Rumschlag, and he said he would serve. The only thing was, depending on how much on a committee to review proposals and oversee, the only caveat was he'd need to consider how much is going to be involved, because this is over and above our contract with them. So, but the statute suggests an engineer and a contractor like Gerald or someone to be on a committee to send out requests for proposals, get them in, and I think we can do that as quickly as, we just need to identify some design builders to request proposals from and give them time to do it. And I don't know if 2 weeks is a pretty quick turnaround.
It is, but for being in the business.
Well, it's an emergency, we need to.
An emergency, it's really not out. Like I said, we did one emergency on 64 for the Indiana Department of Highways. They called us at 9 o'clock. I had to have the bid in by 2 o'clock, and we had to be down there the next day. So it is something that people's getting more used to.
Do you have some design builders that we can send requests to?
First we went, so first right here.
I asked Temple to help us out on the inspection.
We're gonna have to do some.
But I don't want to jeopardize being, you're going to be bidders here. Marcia?
Well, yes.
Okay, so.
You guys would want to bid on it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
We're going to need to get a couple more design building firms.
We have to advertise.
Well, they wouldn't, we can just directly solicit under these circumstances.
We can come up with some names, can we?
Phil, this is your district, you want to make the motion?
Yeah,
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and appoint Phil to the committee. We'll go ahead and second that. All in favor of Phil, raise your right hand. Phil, raise his left hand. 2 to 1, he raises his left hand, sir.
I'll write with this one, John. This is free.
But we'll get with Leo and
Yeah.
see what else, see if we can get him down here and help. And
Then how do we, okay, all right, so we get Leo down,
help
myself,
him, and
Gerald.
he'll help us send out proposal requests.
Proposal plan.
Send out a request
Bid,
for proposals.
Go ahead and start. Well, how fast do we have to, are we advertising?
Let's talk,
What do we do?
I need a motion now to accept the design bill. This was just to put Philip on the committee. We need a motion to accept the design bill proposal.
Make a motion.
Thank you. Second. Thank you, David. Philip made a motion, David second, that we accept the design proposal. All in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. We shall proceed.
We'll get together with Leo and
Thank
Jerry.
you.
I got one question before we leave. If you go for clear span, does that raise the road height any of the deck?
It doesn't have to, but I would like to have raised it, what was it, 6 inches? That's all we'd have to raise it. I think it do need to raise it 6 inches, which wouldn't require much of an approach.
I just don't want nothing like we have out here on this other one. But again, I still want to.
We have to make a motion that
6
this is an
6 to 8
emergency
inches.
situation.
Yeah, I think you should.
I thought
Yeah,
we were doing all this
go
stuff,
ahead.
never declared it as an
Yeah, we need
emergency.
to go ahead and probably amend that motion.
Phil made that motion, I'll second that. All in favor of making this an emergency situation for the county, raise your right hand. Philip, you got a right hand?
I did.
Thank you.
She had no.
Unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Come on up.
Yes, sir.
All right, jail update, gave you a few pictures there, just quickly before I run through those. We're proceeding well as far as our schedule and everything goes. It's, foundations are, I'll say 99% in and complete. We left one section of wall out so that we can take trucks in and out, cranes in and out, and whatever to access that we need to get in and out of there. We've been getting test reports from anywhere from soil testing to concrete testing to anything else that's being, tested by a independent lab. So, but anyway, all that has been testing out and coming back good. We're getting copies of all that, and we're getting local inspections, plumbing inspections. Everything's being tested. They're putting, they pump it up, I think, and I don't know exactly. I think it's 5 pounds of pressure that they put on all the underground sewer lines and water lines and whatever. Tested, has to hold for so long. The city inspector comes out and observes it for a certain period of time and then signs off on it. So anyway, all that's been going well. All the underground plumbing is in. We're finishing up on some underground electric work and the, shoot that thing. But anyway, we're finishing up on the underground electric service and everything coming in to the building. That should be done today, tomorrow. Our plant, we're prepping to pour slabs, and our plan was to, make the first slab pour later this week. But right now, it looks like there's a pretty good chance of rain, so that could slip back to Monday or something. But right now, that's all proceeding along very well. The pre-engineered steel building.
Who's doing the slab pour?
Do what?
Who's doing the slab?
Crimp with their, with their forces. But the pre-engineered steel building is scheduled, the first load is scheduled in here on the 14th of October. First loads, put it that way. And then we've got it staggered out to the 16th for the balance of the building. So all of that will be on site within 2 weeks from now. And I'll go through it here again and explain some stuff on my pictures. But last week, I went to Baldwin, Georgia, where our cells are being manufactured. And I've got some pictures in there of that, and I'll go through and kind of explain what it is and what's going on. But at this point now, all of our cells should be built and going through the coating process and putting in fixtures and lights and whatever else in those things. So that's all going well, and they're due to be in here the 1st of November.
Not to jump ahead, but
yes, sir.
What kind of coating do those cells get?
They get, it's called polyurea is what they call it. It's something similar to a sprayed-on truck bed liner. It's what's sprayed on the whole interior portion of that cell surface. Then on the exterior cell surface, it gets that epoxy paint coating.
Is it repairable inside?
Yes.
Out in the field?
Yes. Yeah, it's repairable.
In case
Yeah.
they get a hold of something.
Well, somebody chews something off or cuts something off or whatever. But yes, it is repairable, and like I say, it's I believe a Sherwin-Williams product, but it's
what kind of warranty does it cover?
I'd have to look to see what their warranty time is. I know it's written in the specs, but I don't know that off the top of my head.
This is the best product out of
This is the best thing there is. I know, just dropping back and going back to what you're saying, we put a if you want to call it a rubber room or a padded cell in Vanderburgh County. And they had a guy in there that he actually chewed a hole in this thick, hard rubber padding.
They're mean down there.
Yeah, they are, but, we hope we don't have any up here. But the thing is, they're gonna do something to it. I mean, it has to be repairable. Now, of course, when that happens, the manufacturer's gonna say, that's a little bit more like, vandalism than
Right.
warranty. So, that's, that has to be looked at when that happens. But anyway, if you want to breeze through these pictures, of course, the first one I got up here is just that's storm collection lines along the north side there that will gather up all the downspout drains, and it also catches stuff that's coming from the roof drains that's over the kitchen area, and it'll gather up here and it goes over the hill and goes into the drainage down alongside the road there. But anyway, it gathers all the storm water where there won't be any sheeting runoff.
There's actually 2 exits, right?
Yes.
It's not just one main.
No, I think it goes off in 2 spots.
Right.
Yes. And then there's also one on the other side that spills out somewhere. I think it goes this way, I believe. Next one, of course, I'm talking about foundations, and this is just one of the piers that's out in the middle that holds up a building column. And I'm saying they're 6 by 6, and it's 18 inches thick concrete. It's
Commissioner Brown showed me that, and said
Yeah.
that he thought that was a new cell.
he thought that was the attorney's office. Okay, but anyway, that's just
I would have built.
yeah. Anyway, that's just a tip. That's just
I would have built.
yeah. Anyway, that's just a tip. That's just
I would have built.
yeah. Anyway, that's just a tip. That's just
I would have built.
yeah. Anyway, that's just a
About, or even if we, is it basically all stop signs?
It's everything, stop signs, yield signs, you name it, curve signs, it's all of them.
How much does each one of those signs
They're
cost?
$50. And there's probably 50 of them more out there right now.
If we offered a reward for somebody that turns somebody in, you think there'd be somebody willing to?
It's all over the county, it's not just one
They're
area.
not gonna stop.
It's all
They're
over the
gonna have
county.
to figure out how to deal with it.
It's all over the county.
If we painted it red, if we painted this sign red,
You're gonna mess up your reflection.
well, if you do, then make that white reflective tape. Is there any wall that says what kind of signs you have to use?
I would say it has to be that size and that.
Well, I mean,
Just
if
stuff on
we
it,
use the
yeah.
same sign, there's nothing
I don't
wrong
know,
with the sign.
we can check and see, I don't
If
know.
we painted it and then had STOP printed with reflective,
I don't know.
there's either zinc signs or there's, what's the other one?
Well, Amtech, but could that top and bottom be painted red with some kind of reflective
I
material?
don't know if that's legal or not.
You think that'd be legal, Tom?
I mean, if
That particular
there's a
one,
wreck at that intersection.
if it is, that
That's
would-
up there painted.
Yeah,
How is that gonna be a liability issue? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If that's legal, that one could be saved right there.
Well, if we got, I mean, what I'm saying is, if the sign was painted red,
I understand what you're saying.
and then if we put reflective tape,
I understand that, but I'm not sure that's,
and then we've got access to help here, that could do that, put the reflective tape on.
What I was thinking was just paint the top and bottom red and put the reflective.
I don't think it's gonna be legal. I mean,
You're fixing yourself for a lawsuit.
Right.
It's gonna,
down the road.
the thing, I'll bring it up again, but I know I'm gonna get shot down on it. The thing to do is put some cameras out there and have our county sheriff start prosecuting these people, I mean, to the hilt.
Yeah, but look
Kids or not kids or whoever, let's start prosecuting some of these people to get this stopped. Because it's not gonna stop, but just making hands and letting go.
Yeah, but how many cameras would it take to?
Not very many.
You
Like I said, they're everywhere, I mean,
Yeah,
My gosh,
every sign around, it's
yeah,
got something written on it.
yeah.
You could spot about 2 or 3 cameras around the county. Within a week, you'll catch about 2 or 3 people.
You wanna be investigator, Rhonda?
No, that's just what I was gonna suggest, is go ahead and put cameras on it.
See,
And
my
go ahead
thought
and
is
let
But
the
you
work it
gotta
out.
put them over the whole county, you said they're all.
It's a lot of cameras.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
you
I
don't
mean-
have to put many.
You don't have to put many, as long as they don't see them, they don't know which ones have them. And so then you protect the whole situation, and then you go ahead and find the ones that are doing it. And you
Caught
go ahead
one,
and,
I guess
try to bring the public into it.
If we had Marcia put an article that we're gonna put cameras on stop signs, vandalism, we don't have to tell where.
And we did that 2
Right.
years ago.
Yeah, that don't,
Mm-hmm.
Mike, put them out.
What about a NASCAR peel like they do off the windows? I don't know what it
That's what I was
costs.
thinking. I was
I
sitting
don't
there
know
thinking,
what it costs, don't think about it, but my thought was.
Could we put a
you
coating
just
on
Spray
it?
paint it, you just drive by,
just peel it and then put a new layer on. That's what I was sitting here contemplating, but I don't know if there's a type of product out there and would it be $50?
yeah.
You know?
But that, just thought I had.
Now, this is all the new reflection stuff, it has to be up by 15, every one of them.
Oh, that does.
You know, all the old ones gotta come down, and we've been doing that,
Yeah, we
but
could-
they're doing this to the new
I'm
ones.
gonna still stick with the camera deal, because it wouldn't take 2 or 3 cameras, and Claude's already got them. We go out there, we stick them up, and we start catching people. And it's not gonna take no time to catch them.
If you catch one, that'll deter it a little bit.
I don't think so, because we'll smack their hands and send them home to mommy and daddy. That's all we'll do. We won't do what we need to do.
What are we gonna do with it?
There needs to be a
Start
fine.
pressing charges against these people.
I put my camera away, it's okay.
You can't imagine what's on the paper. Some of them say, don't stop, down at the bottom, they say, believe,
Let's see, last
That's
year,
what?
believe.
Believe it.
That means like there's nobody coming, just believe there's nobody coming, keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, they say everything.
one year, Gerald, correct me if I'm wrong, one year I checked with you guys out the county highway, counting the stop signs, the green signs that were sold. But one we just kept putting up, down in your area, what's the name of that road?
Yeah, there's a lot of them that are hit almost 65 up.
I mean, the bill was like $35,000 one year.
Yeah, it's,
It's because we don't really take action.
public called this one in, they started looking at it. So we went out and changed it.
What's the new one? Still okay?
I've not been out there for a couple of days, I'd say it's already got
Oh,
made
yeah,
again.
then we, it wouldn't take 3 or 4 cameras set out.
But that's a big problem that we've got and with the money situation in the budget. We're gonna be out before December.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it.
I mean, we ordered about 50 at a time, and
Well, there's some areas
they're all the same. There's no.
more than others.
Not really,
They don't pick out any.
not really.
Where you gonna put the cameras at the side where you put the
Well,
cameras?
Paul knows, Brett Miller and Paul know where to put the cameras.
The Harlem area, of course, there's not much
They
traffic.
can put the cameras and hide them to where
They're
nobody.
hit down there, quite a bit. They're hit up there around town. Like I said, this is just 2 miles up the road. I mean, it don't seem to matter.
No, they don't.
Is that okay to use the cameras close it up? Okay.
Up to him. Just somebody.
We can try and see if.
Somebody needs to ask
We
him.
can get
Gerald?
it. One problem with your camera, you gotta have a tree them out on. You can't just sit out there in the middle of the
Right.
field.
You'll find.
So, you know,
We'll leave that up to you
see
and
if
Claude.
do something.
The commissioners' agreement, I think, to use those cameras that Claude's got and put them in an advantageous place that hopefully we can catch somebody. If we catch one, that's gonna be a little bit of deterrent to, they'll be thinking, is there a camera every place? So Dave's probably got a good idea to use those cameras.
Let the public know that if we don't get our hands wrapped around this, because the public needs to be involved, we can pass a wheel tax.
It's a safety issue. We've been looking forward to it.
That'll give people money.
Hey,
Pay for new stop
you
signs.
spend out $35,000-$40,000 a year, by golly, we're gonna have to do something.
Nothing to,
But really, I mean, that's how you come up with money to.
It's a liability issue, just the way it is. We've been through that before.
okay, we'll entertain a motion to accept the payroll and claims.
So moved.
All those in favor, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Need a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
So moved.
All those in favor of adjournment, raise your right hand. Unanimous. Thank you all for coming.